We're missing Donovan, so I was stepping in for Donovan, so let me get my bearings here for what I'm doing up here now. For those of you that don't know me, I always forget, but I'm Paula Diedrich. First of all, do we have any new attendees? If you could raise your hand if you are a new attendee. Yay! Recruited Saturday to come. So I have a feeling we may have some stragglers coming in tonight because the meet and greet with Abdul was till 7 or 7:30? 7:30, so we may have some people joining us after that. So a couple of announcements. There's still a couple of free t-shirts in the back, but you can always order those, or sweatshirts. Tina, if you can bring in a snack next week, please see Tina. There she is. Again, the church has changed and we no longer have Yoda, but we do have a donation box, free will donation box. Lovemark provides this space for us and has since February-ish, free, but we do like to give them some money to help pay for this space. New on the back table, just arrived tonight. There are some coffee cups, 12 by 12 window clings and 8 by 8 window clings that look like this. That's the actual cost. There's a little container, plastic container for a free will donation for that. Donations are appreciated but not required. And then there's a QR code also on this flyer that I'll put back there. Someone had asked in the Discord or had posted in our Discord about the MDOT public hearing on proposed rules for roadside facilities. That's listed under the upcoming events on the back. There's a link to this. I scanned it very quickly. One of the proposals is a 48-hour max stay. So those people that are unhomed sometimes stay there and will be affected. So on Wednesday, tomorrow, there are 2 different times. I'm sorry, I forgot to put those on here. One is during the day, one is in the evening for the virtual presentation. But I did notice that you can do written comments that have to be received by November 20th. Again, that link has everything, goes directly to the information about that. Did anyone attend the Reproductive Health Resource Open House? And can give us a report. Sorry, I forgot to reach out to them. No Kings 2.0 update, reflection, let's go. Let's hear all the good stuff. Do you want me to jump ahead? Do you want me to jump ahead to something else first? Okay, because I could do.
Hey kids, I didn't prepare anything. As you all know that were there or saw it on TV, I thought it was a very successful event. I don't have an official head count. I've heard anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000. If somebody would like, I posted the videos, both from drone footage, and I sent somebody along the highway videoing out the window. So there is a ground shots and drone coverage if somebody wants to take some time to count. Yes, ma'am.
So I heard from another community that they had 100 bags of candy, and they passed out, people would pass out 100 pieces of candy. And they would say, have you got a piece of candy to count? So, that is what,
So in our efforts, we're discussing ways that we can possibly count people. Jen's going to present one idea. I know in the past I've talked about maybe asking for a penny donation or something that we could
Yeah,
then,
this way we're giving them,
yeah,
and we're controlling, we know. So, this is what Traverse City did. Traverse City had 8,000 people.
nice.
And because I'm so proud of my friend Betsy Kofia, the representative down there, she said, no kings, dancing queens, no kings, dancing queens, and then they turned on the song, and that's how they ended their rally. It was everyone dancing. So, but I think we should try the candy. I think we could pull off that candy.
Yeah, that would be awesome way to try to at least get an estimation.
Yeah, they had a stage, and they do it in an amphitheater space, some kind of outdoor space where they can put 8,000 people.
So there's conversation happening right now about missing the rally component, and although that was
I can be the runner because you can watch.
that was definitely discussed in our pre-planning as to the feasibility of that. We do plan on in the future moving to some of the events being rallies, but because we had such limited space available because of other events happening in Marquette with the film festival and the road rally, we were already like sharing the parking lot with the road rally people for the day. We were pretty constrained with what we were feasibly capable of pulling off that day. So we miss the rallies too. They're a wonderful way to energize the people and get people to share information. So we definitely have that in our hearts and in our minds. We hear that message. So I am working on a way for people to be able to get photographs of signs and things like that. I haven't talked to Paul specifically, but I'm hoping that there'll be an easy way for you to give him your pictures so that we can have a comprehensive one-stop place to be able to view all the wonderful signs and energy that we all shared. We had people on both sides. As far as I'm aware, we went all the way from in front of Holiday Inn up to the Cedar Motor Inn. And then we had people across the street, on the bridge, lots of people going by, honking and beeping. Not really any negativity, as I expressed and offered, if they felt like they needed a security person or, a safety team or crowd control to discourage demonstrators from being on private property, we would also make those arrangements. So all of the businesses had a good response. I had positive feedback from everybody. I also sent out invitations kind of last minute to all the unions, the nursing homes, high school, government teachers, Northern's poli-sci department, and then some local organizations like UP Rainbow Pride, all were personally invited by me. Tried to establish communication paths for moving forward so that having those interactions and supports would be in place. On the note of the nursing homes, I will tell you that I did have several conversations with people, activity directors and such, where they would be interested in having a group of us come sometimes and maybe help the seniors send letters to their representatives, to be able to sit and listen to them, to heed their wise wisdom and lived experience, and to make sure that they are staying valued in our community. So I will be taking up that cause probably in the next few weeks. So if you're interested, let me know, and we can maybe put a team together that can utilize those services. Donation update, and I'm not prepared to do that, so I will get back to you in a few minutes. When I have my phone on my person, I can read it to you. I do know that we had less than we've had in the past,
Yes.
so I want to make sure that, Jen, move the microwave. Thank you. I would like to, I think part of our breakout session might be in our kind of discussion about moving forward. It's very near and dear to, I'm sure, many of our hearts that we've seen that the SNAP benefits won't be happening next month. I would like us to, as a group, take our energies and figure out how we can support local need for food and sustenance in our communities. So be thinking about that. We'll roundtable it and figure out what the best methods. I'm personally talking at Whetstone about hosting once a month potluck, just a potluck in the community room to make sure that people know each other so that we can help each other. So think about what you can do in those lights. But as far as the rest of the information for the actual event of Saturday, No Kings, I think it was a fabulous event. I have seen 2 incidences that might have a negative connotation. It is not clear to me at all that it was accurately reported that it was a demonstrator involved. So if you see something like that, I would challenge you to question something. Don't just say, you know, hey, that's too bad that that happened. Try to get some information. I would love to, you know, personally investigate anything that we are being accused of to see if it's, you know, has some legs. And I always encourage people to call the police. That's what they're there for. And in none of those situations were the police actually contacted. So be a little, you know, investigative. We definitely gave out all of the No Kings stickers. I think we recovered our monies from that, and people were excited to have them. So I really appreciate everybody that donated to that cause. I love the fact that people see my sticker, and of course I've painted on my windows of my car, but you know, with window paint that say No Kings, and I get so many positive comments, and people who would never think to walk up to me, who actually do. You know, everybody from young people to old people, they see those No Kings and they're like, oh, you're part of my village, you're part of my tribe, and I want to say hello and shake your hand. So wonderful job, everybody. A big round of applause to everyone involved, the safety team, the crowd control, the parking, everybody, the food donation people. I'm so happy that it all turned out the way it turned out. And it looks like our safety team leader wants to talk to Barb.
Well, I think one thing right now, because it helped make this a phenomenally good event, is Brian Wallen and his friends that showed up with their instruments and did a hootenanny, a moving hootenanny throughout the line, and that was awesome. I know he's not here, but he could see it online.
See it online. Big
He's-
round
I
of
think he's
applause
at
to
it.
Brian
Yeah,
and the
Brian.
gang.
And they sent out an email to the indivisible co-leaders today. Michigan's numbers look to be about 215,000 people were on the streets in Michigan, and that put us at the 11th in terms of the number of states having people out. So, and then I saw 850 in Houghton, 330 in Escanaba, and 300, I think, or 200 in Crystal Falls. 300 in Crystal Falls. Has anyone else heard any other? I don't know about the Sioux. I did see a picture of a frog and a Velociraptor signing petitions in the Sioux. People in the inflatables, right, signing the petitions. But I don't know. I think 180 in the Sioux. I saw that number. But haven't heard about. Has anyone heard about Newberry?
Newberry had 80, and then either Ironwood or Iron Mountain had around the same as Escanaba.
Yep, that was Ironwood had one. Yep, yeah. So if somebody can do math, we could add up how many Yoopers that was. But I will do that later. I'm actually going to leave because the national call's at 8, and I'm going to jump on that. But and then that person who just walked in just gave me all of these ballot petitions.
So ballot petitions is one of the other things I just wanted to touch on briefly. I did have a very brief conversation with Deb at the end of the rally, and she was super excited with the amount of signatures they were able to collect during the event. So still looking for more volunteers if that is now in your heart and your time frame to be able to collect signatures. Talk to Paula about that. And then I have a very small amount of lost and found items. So I will put them by the box in the lost and found box on the back table. If you are missing something, check there. And anybody that has any other feedback or suggestions, We'll have a specific roundtable for just debriefing about that event, and you're welcome to stop by and let us know.
I had a ball. I walked from one end to the other on the one side of the street, and I was absolutely stunned. 4 generations. There were people so old they had to have great-grandchildren. And there were people who were in wheelchairs and walkers and canes and very elderly people, college students, young people, 3 generations in a photo. I mean, it was just so much fun to talk with people along the way, look at their signs and comment on them. And I didn't see very much there was one that was really kind of creepy. And one pair of people were waving flags that were definitely against what we were all about. But that's the only negatives that I saw all the way through. And I walked, like I said, that whole line. And I just want to say congratulations to everybody who organized, because I walked up and down like an observer, and because it was fun. And
Even the dogs had signs.
yeah, there were at least 10, by the way, and I petted every one of them. But it was so clear that the security people were doing their thing, the parking lot, everything went off without a hitch. I spent 25 years in the military. It was perfectly done. Congratulations on a really spectacular event.
Thank you. Back to Paula.
Barb, did you want to say anything for safety?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Absolutely, never been prouder of not just the safety team, but the crowd control people, the parking people, the everybody people. It was really well done. I will mention, and this, as Tina kind of alluded to, we're not sure who this person was, whether he was there to be with us or not, because he did, as we were dealing with him, say, well, no Kings is over, you can't tell me what to do now. But he was violent. He was hitting a card with his sign, and he was very definitely wanting to start a fist fight with another person. And our people, both the safety people and the crowd control people, stepped in, de-escalated, tried to de-escalate it. I actually had to break one of the rules and grab a hold of him and keep him from launching at this guy. But he was off the wall. He was just, and I do not believe it was a mental health issue. One thing we have to watch out for is doing anything that they can get, a video of. That was all we would have needed, is for him to actually get in the fist fight that he was really trying for. So I think our people really made that not happen. And I really, really want to appreciate them for that.
I think that absolutely, I witnessed the safety people stepping in between.
I witnessed how well the safety team handled that, and I'm so proud of you guys. But I think on that note, the driver of the car who kept saying, the police, the police, the police, never called the police. So, not that it didn't, we saw the violence happen, but the victim, who made a big, big deal about wanting the police, never called the police, which makes me a little questioning of it, so.
Yeah, I'm questioning of it too, but I just, we are told by National Indivisible, by No Kings, by 5051, yeah, all of them, to watch out for setups, for real things or setup things, because the other side would really like to put on air us doing something bad, and we don't, so just don't. So, and I can't express how proud I am of the people that stepped in before I got to the scene there. They were doing exactly what the training said to do. Absolutely. So thank you.
my best compliment, I was working crowd control, and I had a gentleman with at least 2 generations with him, and he said, "We feel safe, thank you." Yeah, I get the goosebumps. Marquette County Board vacancy that we have been talking about is filled by Carl Newmanen. He's a local lawyer. I did not hear anything back from Jay about Dickinson County Board having a proposed dress code policy now to speak at their meetings. Yeah, but Jay did not, I posted a question on Discord to ask him for follow-up, and I haven't heard. That was a week ago Monday, I believe. Okay. Anyone, how were the pop-up or the rush hour resistance? Do we have any reports? Is that today? 13. 3-ish. Thank you.
And I marked it all through, it was great. That's showing how much
Okay, Ruby, Zeke, Donovan, none of them are here for We the People. I do know that they are working more on building their base. That's all I can tell you on that.
They have a meeting tomorrow.
Thank you. Tomorrow's Voices is meeting every Monday. I went there last night. They are working on a platform. They signed some petitions last night. General consensus about the new NMU president was they were pleased with that choice over the other ones. Ballot proposal updates. If you have any of the petitions, we are collecting them tonight. If you want to be a micro circulator, we are always looking for those people. I think that's all I got for ballot proposal, unless anyone else wants to say, Deb, my backup isn't here. Okay. Is there anything else?
Yes, so we have blank.
There are blank sheets. Is there anyone here from Write My Vote? Oh, they're all with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's me. I'm like all of them right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will grab those in a minute. Anyone else? Okay. So what it sounds like, I wrote down October 18th, No Kings debrief for a table. Ballot petitions, let's go over where Graham is because he's got his all over there. Is there another, Tina, did you want to, I wrote down the nursing home team. Is that something you want started tonight?
No, next week.
Next week, okay.
We have the update of the
Okay. And then, and the SNAP benefits, you want to do that next week too? Okay. Does anyone else have a breakout table? Barb? Okay.
Very good friend of mine who also happens to be very prominent in another group, posted on her Facebook page as a quote from Lisa Corrigan, scholar of social movements, from Heather Cox Richardson, from Letters from America. Large, fun marches full of art and music expand connections and make people more willing to take risks against growing state power. The community and good feelings those gatherings develop help carry opposition through hard moments. Not only what we just did, but what we keep doing.
Food pantry update. I'm just gonna read it, it's a lot. Our last weekly donation went to Nagani Senior Center. They run a housekeeping, shopping, and commodity service for seniors. They were thrilled we thought of them and said their shoppers are seeing usual, like coffee, etc., dropping from their lists due to the rising cost of groceries. They are making baskets, and a big item needed is batteries, as there is also a worry batteries aren't going to be purchased and are needed for essential items like smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. So in a separate conversation, we decided that 9-volt in both triple and double A's would be needed in a variety of quantities. So No Kings 2.0, we got 501 pounds of food through food and monetary donations. This was divided between Gwyn's St. Vincent de Paul and Nagani and Palmer St. Vincent de Paul, as they both service 2 communities. Gwyn said this came at a perfect time as they were getting low on many items. They are now helping 350 people per month. This includes over 70 seniors and over 60 veterans. They really wanted me to share that most people who walk in their doors are just people who have done everything right their entire life. SS and retirement wages are no longer covering the daily cost of living. A huge thank you to Lake Superior Chapter Finlandia Foundation for their generous donation last week of items received from their food drive. To date, Yoopers Unite and Indivisible have donated 3,659 pounds of food, household and hygiene items to our local communities since April. With big holidays coming up, let's focus on things needed for those holiday meals, baking, etc. And as always, anything food, household, or hygiene is welcome, plus the batteries. We've been hearing that other local pantries are also getting desperately low on food, so please consider bringing items to our local meetings or contact Joe or myself for a pickup if needed. We'll happily make the arrangements to come and get it if you can't make it here on Tuesdays. So help your neighbors, help yourself by helping your neighbors. Thank you.
Back to you.
Oh, yes. Do you have something?
I do. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
All right, first thing, we did have some tech issues today, so if you were worried about anything on those lines, you're definitely not on camera, because this is all being recorded at best. So I will do my best to get that on there. I did pull up a few stats for national. We outpaced, for No Kings as a whole, it outpaced the previous protests for No Kings by about 2 million people, putting us at a little over 7 million, which is really amazing at a national level. They're saying it's the largest single-day protest since about the 70s, which is amazing. My other thing is that, real quick, just because we just see that there's less people in here, if people do start trickling in from that other function, I'm going to propose that we keep an ear out, be willing to pause during our breakout groups, so that if something does come to us that we're not able to talk about in here, we have a minute to actually hear and talk about it during breakout groups. Do I have a show of hands that agree with that sentiment? Looks like just about everyone. Awesome, thank you.
Also, I got this in the mail. Yeah. And Jen happened to be the first person I saw. I'm like, okay, is this? Yeah. So, just a FYI. Abortion pills by mail. No clinic, no problem. There's a QR code. You can get abortion pills. Having a daughter, 2 daughters, I already have done some of that for them or their friends, if needed. So, I think that's it then. So, No Kings, where are we going to be for No Kings? In the middle here? Okay. All right. Ballot proposals are over on that end. If you haven't signed, or if you need to turn some in, or if you want to microcirculate again, take one and ask 10 friends, family to sign. That would be great. That's all I got, unless I'm missing something. Okay,
I'm committing to,
where's your mic? Oh, yeah.
report what's heard at the national meeting, because I'm planning to watch it tonight. Well done, everyone, but we're, with the national shutdown not really moving, and I'm hearing there's hearings going on right now, in Lansing, but nothing also happening there. But the money cuts that are also going to be coming to state programs are also here. And as I know more by next Tuesday, because the meetings will, we're talking about having hearings Thursday in fundraising, to talk about cuts, that are coming, I will report back what I find. I think we also just, an idea to think about is to make it local and personal. If you or someone you know might be willing to talk to a reporter, we could help bring attention to the damage this is causing to our communities. That's another angle. I'm happy to help facilitate that. That's something that I imagine we're going to talk about tonight. Because people, you know, if you don't know someone who's impacted, you know, people unfortunately need to feel like it's, you know, kind of being away from them themselves. So, we know that there are thousands of people employed by the federal and state government, and there are people in the Yoopers Unite who are furloughed right now and are having a really hard time. So, it is impacting us directly, and I think calling attention to it is going to be really important. So, we'll hear more about that.
Next week, so that should be an agenda item. We do have Kelly Van Gin, I've never heard her name. Van Ginhoven? She is coming, she'll tell us her name next week, she's coming. So just a note, she will be here next week. Reminder, we give them 10 minutes, no Q&As, but they can stay for the breakouts. I called Bergman's office today because Amy's SSI, I don't know why we had, it's usually yearly, but for some reason I got a letter saying that I needed to have another evaluation phone call. And I got the phone call, but it was a message saying that because Travis he can't do that because we're on federal shutdown, and the next time that will try is November 3rd. So I called Bergman's office and explained that that happened. So there's a backflow. We're just getting backlogged. Will, who has now known my name, because I'm like, hi, this is Paula Diedrich. He's like, yes. I'm like, oh. And I told him what happened, and I have constantly now been saying is Representative Bergman talking to Speaker Johnson to have him open. And Will was stuttering today when I was asking that and to respond. He was stuttering and saying, well, Speaker Johnson is saying, and I'm like, that doesn't matter. I want our rep to speak to him about opening. And I brought up this whole idea that Bergman has said that they should pass, that Congress doesn't get paid during these shutdowns. And I said, that can't go through either when the House isn't in session. He can't do that work either. So. Right, I know why. I brought that up last time. Yeah. Yeah, I brought that up. Yeah, because she'll be signature 218 also. So anyway, anytime I have a personal story, I have made it a point to call him now because I go, this is how it's affecting me today. All right, so breakouts. Snacks.
All right.
It is what it is. Oh boy.